this series is called 101 Ways to Ramen. So if you want to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can follow. Alright, so this is my second video of my 101 Ways to Ramen. My name is Travis White. I'm the former executive chef of the Hotel Sorrento in downtown Seattle. This is part 2 of my video series on how to take normal packs of ramen and turn them into something else. So today we're going to be make a play off of a classic Italian carbonara, spaghetti carbonara, bucatini carbonara. And so to do that we have heavy cream, some farm fresh eggs, some salt, black pepper. This is a larger size. This is the 120 gram pack of the ramen noodles, so it'll be a bigger portion size. Some flat leaf Italian parsley. This is some beautiful imported grana padano from the Parma region. One of the nice things about when they closed my hotel is they let all the employees take home as much food as possible so that it wouldn't get thrown away. You know, since everybody's out of work, trying to feed the families. And then we just have one piece of bacon here for our carbonara. Classic carbonaras are made with pancetta. Pancetta is very similar to bacon. They use the same cut, the pork belly, except for it's a dry salt aging instead of a brine and smoke aging. So they're similar in flavor profile. We're just going to chop this guy up. We're going to take our egg yolks. We only want the egg yolks from our eggs. We're going to add a little bit of salt to our water. Got this started boiling over here, and this pan is preheating for our bacon. Wash my hands real quick. We've got our bacon's rolled up. We're gonna give that a quick dice. Just put salt in the water. I washed my hands. I'm gonna wash them again a few times because, you know, we got lots of stuff to do here. Gonna need this. All right, so we roll the bacon up and then we cut it into strips, and then we'll go back and cut it this way so that we can have a nice dice. They don't want to be too big, too small. It's kind of one of those Goldilocks situations where you want them to be just right. Okay, so there's that cut up, and we've got a preheated pan over here. We're just going to drop those right on in. There's enough fat in there. You don't need to add fat to the pan because it'll already, bacon has its own fat. It comes ready to rock and roll. Wipe down the cutting board. We only need a few of these leaves from our Italian flat leaf parsley for this because it's just a garnish. So I'm just going to pick 3 leaves off the top, put it back in the window. Okay. And we have our 2 eggs here. That. And number 2. That. Wash your hands again. Turn the heat down on the bacon between medium, low. We just want to get it nice and crispy, nice golden brown color. We don't want it to burn. Water's starting to come to a boil, so we will open up our, save your egg whites for baking. My girlfriend has started baking a lot now that we've been stuck in quarantine. You do not need these, so we'll set these aside. You can use them later if you want to double down on flavor, if you're going to just make a normal batch of ramen. We're going to throw our pasta into our salted pasta water. Let that start cooking. And a quick stir on our bacon. And get that pasta going. So carbonara is a classic Italian dish, but it isn't an old Italian dish. It actually has its roots in post-World War II. So the carbonara, because it was a common dish for people that worked in the coal mines, carbon mines. It's eggs and cheese because that's what American GIs were leaving people for rations. There's a lot of eggs and cheese being thrown around after World War II, and so this dish was kind of created to use up the rations that were left to the Italian public by the US. And it's kind of fitting, seeing as we're all living in quarantine right now, to make this classic post-apocalyptic dish, because it's got a lot of Italians through some tough times in the early days after World War II. So we're just going to chop up our parsley. Again, this is just for garnish, so you just want it to look nice and pretty on the plate. And we can start to grate our, this is a microplane, so it is a really fine grate on some of this beautiful grana padano. And we're just gonna go with that much. You'll use 3/4 of that in the actual pasta, and then the other will just be sprinkled on top to finish. It's nice and crispy now. We're going to pour off the fat. If you don't pour the fat off when you add the egg yolks and some, I'm going to have to use lime juice because that's all I have in the fridge today, but add some acid and all that. This too much fat will cause your sauce to break, and that is never good. We're going to add our heavy cream, and then we're going to cook the heavy cream down. About a 1/2 cup probably, don't need too much. And then we're going to add salt. Salt is very important. So we're going to reduce the cream, and then we'll add our pasta, cook the pasta into the cream, and then we'll add the egg yolks and the Parmesan cheese. Turn the heat up. And the noodles go right in. Salt. Alright, so we're going to pull our noodles off the heat. Cream is coating the noodles. You don't want to do this on the heat, otherwise it'll cook your egg yolks, or your egg yolks, and you just end up with scrambled eggs. That is not a good idea. So egg yolks in, cheese in. We're going to use our spoon to start mixing this. You just want to give it a nice that. We're going to add some black pepper. Okay, and you just want to evenly coat all your noodles, kind of try and toss them, get them mixed up. Okay, from here, we're going to ditch the spoon and go to the tongs, and we're just going to layer them so that the flavors get all mixed in. You don't want this to be too saucy, and you don't want it to be too thick. Your sauce is a little too thick. You just take your tongs, a little bit of water added in, isn't going to hurt anything. Just keep mixing it. Get it to the right consistency, and so this is kind of what you're looking for. Noodles are evenly coated, there's enough sauce, but it's not dry. So then we're just going to take our pasta, start working it into our portion, and then we're just going to pick this up with our tongs right onto the plate and give it a nice spin on top, like that. Okay, set this off to the side. Now we're going to sprinkle cheese right over the top of it, parsley right over the top of it, and then some fresh crushed black pepper right on top. There you go. Ramen carbonara. Alright, so that's it for our second of our 101 ways to ramen. So if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell. We're building a channel around this whole experiment. This is day 1 of our quarantine here in Seattle, so I got plenty of time to make some more beautiful dishes like this. We're gonna grab a fork and we're gonna give this a taste. And then I'm gonna give it to my roommate so he can eat it for lunch. That's not bad. Thanks for watching.